Okay, let's do this. This is homework number 6 for chapter 3. So let's get started. This is your first introduction, or after your first introduction to the area model. So this assignment, you have this right here, which is already the product. Right? So if you didn't know, you will usually see it like this, which is already the product. Okay, so all we have to do is write the area as a product right there. X to the third, 4x squared plus 5x plus 1. That's your product. And you want this to equal the area as a sum. Now the sum, area as a sum, you're going to have to go and do this with the area model. So area model, you can start with x to the third. Because we're running out of space right here, I'll put it on the top. So we have 4x squared, positive 5x, and positive 1. So the area as a sum is going to be found by multiplying that together. So this will be 1 times 4 is 4. X to the third and x to the second. So count how many x's you got. You got 5. So x to the fifth. All right. This next one, you're going to utilize x to the third, 1x to the third, and the 5x. And 1 times 5 is 5. X to the third and x to the 1. Count how many x's you got. You got 4 of them. 1 x to the third and 1 makes 1. And count how many x's you got to the third. So your area as a sum is going to be 4x fifth plus 5x fourth power plus 1x to the third, or I'm just going to write down x to the third just as no 1 because the 1 kind of makes it a little messier. Okay, so area as a product, you already have it. It's right here. So this is going to be x plus 2, 3x minus 1. Okay, let's write that down. X plus 2, because I'm kind of short on space, I'm going to write it on this side. And 3x minus 1. You can write it in any on any side you want. Okay, as long as you have either the top or bottom, and as long as you have either the left or right hand side. Okay, so you can't do them both on the left and right. You can't do them both on the top and bottom. You have to do one on the top or bottom and one on the left or right. So I'm going to do one on the top and one on the right. Okay, and just figure out the math. So you got x times 3x, which makes 3, and then x squared. Next, you have 2 times 3x, which makes 6x. Next, you have x times negative 1. So x times negative 1 is negative 1x, or just negative x is fine. And lastly, you've got 2 times negative 1, which makes negative 2. Okay, in this one, we can actually combine these two right here, because both of those are x's, and both of them will combine to be 5x. That's a positive 5x. 6x's minus 1x is 5x. The 3x squared, you cannot combine that, so you're going to write it just the way it is. And the minus 2, you cannot combine that, so you just write it just the way it is. Okay. Area as a product, it's going to be 2x plus 5, or just the way they have it there, 4x plus 10, or minus 10. Maybe a little space. Interesting. Oh. Interesting. That is weird. Anyways, enough messing around. Okay. And then I'm going to write that down. So this is going to be 2x plus 5 on the top, and then it's going to be 4x minus 10. And remember, it doesn't matter where you put it. You can put these over here if you like. Wow. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Put these over here if you like. Because they're exactly the same. When you think about it, it's exactly the same. And then this 2x plus 5, you can put it on the bottom if you like. And again, they're exactly the same. So it doesn't matter where you put them. So let's say this time I'm going to put it down. Because the last couple times I wasn't. Okay, I put it on the first one, I put on the left and top, and then bottom. Second one, I put on the top and then right. This one, let's say we're going to do on the left and then on the bottom. And it's going to be the same answer. It doesn't matter. So 2x squared, or excuse me, 2x times negative 10 is going to give you negative 20x. This next one, we're going to go negative 5, positive 5 and negative 10. It's going to get you negative 50. Next one, you're going to do 4x times 2x. And 4x times 2x is 8x squared. Next one, you're going to go 4x times 5. Going to get you 20x. And just like the previous one, we can combine these two together. So you get 8x squared. Ooh, and the negative 20x and positive 20x cancels, and you're going to be left with 50. Interesting. Okay, last one. There is a product. It's going to be 6x minus 1 and 3x minus 1. So how about this time I do it along the bottom? So let's say 3x or 6x, excuse me, minus 1, and then I can do it even backwards, 3x minus 1 like that. Okay, typically I would put 3x on top and then minus 1 on the bottom. But you know what? You can do it in any order you want. And go ahead and do the math. So this block right here, you're going to go negative 1 times 3x. That's going to get you negative 3x. This next one here, you're going to go 6x times 3x. So 6 and 3 is 18, and there's 2 x's. So that'll be 18x squared. Okay, this block right here, you got negative 1 and negative 1, which makes positive 1. You put 1 or you put a little plus 1. It's up to you. And this one right here, this top left, you have 6x and negative 1. And go ahead and multiply it together. It's going to be negative 6x. Final answer. And again, you look and you can actually do these two. You can put these two together. You have 18x squared. I like to start with the biggest power. And then negative 6x and negative 3x is going to be negative 9x. And then I like to put the stuff without powers at the bottom, back. Okay. Back page on graph paper. Graph each of the lines below on the same set of axes. What's the relationship between lines A and B and between B and C? All right, so let's graph A first. A we'll put in red. You probably won't have that, but I have access to red. So we're going to graph 4. Okay, we start at 4, and then this one says 1/3, which means up 1 and over 3. We keep doing that. And do the opposite. So if I wanted to, okay, this next one, put in green. This one also starts at 4, but it's going to go down 3 and over 1. Down 3 over 1. Okay, so if I grab this, it's that one. And then my last one, I'll put in blue. This one starts at -2 because the y-intercept is -2. This one goes down 3 and over 1. And then you do opposite. Okay, so between the red and the green, right? So you look between red and green, these are going to be perpendicular. Okay, how do we know that? Because the slopes are opposite, so 1/3 and -3, so one's positive. This one's positive, this one's negative, and then the fractions are going to be flipped. So this one's 1/3, and this one's 3 over 1. So that's how we know that they're perpendicular. Okay, between these two, okay, they are parallel. Because the slope for this one, for the green, is -1/3, and the slope for the blue is also -3 over 1. Excuse me, the slope for the green is -3 over 1. Slope for the blue is -3 over 1. And you can see that they're both parallel. Okay, I guess that's it. All right, I'll see you next time.